Court upholds High Court verdict that scrapes 16th Amendment of the Constitution, restoring Supreme Judicial Council with the power to remove apex court judges. Actions can be taken against associates of fascist government and those accused of corruption through Supreme Judicial Council, says law advisor. Government gives priority on bringing back the money smuggled abroad and may seek technical assistance from Washington to aid the process, says finance advisor. Bangladesh Bank repays $1.5 billion in foreign debts without dipping into its reserves and hopes to reduce outstanding debt to zero within the next 2 months. Information advisor asks associates of fascism working in all places, including police and mass media, to recognize July mass upsurge and surrender by October. Israel continues attacks, killing 87 Palestinians in Gaza. And Bangladesh play out 1-1 draw with Pakistan in South Women's Championship at Kathmandu, Nepal. Assalamu alaikum. This is Shamim Khan, welcoming you all to News at 10. Those were the headlines. We now move on to the news and details. The Supreme Judicial Council, not the Parliament, will remove justices. The Appellate Division of Supreme Court restored the entire Article 96 of the Constitution in this regard. The highest court gave verdict today following a review petition by the state on the verdict of the Appellate Division that declared 16th Amendment to the Constitution illegal. The 6-member full bench of the Appellate Division, led by Chief Justice Syed Rifat Ahmed, gave the verdict. The court disposed of the review petition with observations resulting in restoration of the Supreme Judicial Council to remove the justices of the higher judiciary. Hearing on the review petition began in the morning today after long 8 years. Attorney General Muhammad Asaduzzahman, Supreme Court Bar General Secretary Barrister Ruhul Quddus Kajol and writ petitioner Advocate Monjil Murshid took part in the hearing. With the final verdict, now the Supreme Judicial Council will be able to launch investigation into 3 justices of the High Court. In addition, the Council will also be able to go for measures against 12 on-leave justices. It should be mentioned that in the original Constitution of 1972, Parliament had the power to remove justices. Later in 1975, the power to remove justices was taken to the President through 4th Amendment to the Constitution. Afterwards, during the rule of Ziaur Rahman, the Supreme Judicial Council was introduced to the Constitution through 5th Amendment. But in 2014, power to remove justices was taken back to the Parliament through 16th Amendment by Awami League government. The amendment was challenged with the High Court by filing a writ that year. In 2016, a 3-member special bench of High Court declared the amendment illegal. Later, the then Awami League government appealed against the verdict, but the full bench of the Appellate Division, led by then Chief Justice S.K. Sinha, rejected the appeal, restoring the Supreme Judicial Council. Afterwards, Awami League government filed a review petition to reconsider the verdict of the Appellate Division, but no steps were taken for hearing in the past 8 years. Following the fall of the Awami League government on August the 5th, initiative was taken for hearing on the review petition. Chief Justice Syed Rifat Ahmed fixed Sunday for the hearing. Full bench of the Appellate Division gave the verdict today. Meanwhile, law advisor Professor Asif Nazrul termed restoration of Supreme Judicial Council as positive. He made the comment while replying to queries of newsmen. The advisor further said many common justice seekers could not get justice at the court due to 16th Amendment of the Constitution. He mentioned that judges gave sponsored verdict on behalf of the government. As a result, Khaleda Zia could not get proper justice. Besides, the mass media could not also disseminate the statement of Tariq Zia. So this verdict will have positive impact in the judicial arena, said the advisor. Bangladesh Bank repaid $1.5 billion in foreign debts over the past 2 months without dipping into its reserves. As a result, there is now less uncertainty regarding import of goods. Bangladesh Bank Governor Dr. Ahsan H. Mansoor expressed hope of reducing the debt to zero level within the next 2 months. He said Bangladesh imports almost all petroleum products, including fuel, oil, gas, and coal, from various sources. The country spent nearly $9 billion in the last fiscal year. However, due to dollar crisis, it was not possible to pay these expenses on time for the last 2 years. Consequently, Adani, Capco, and numerous other overseas organizations owed over $2 billion. It is a sign of good hope the central bank repaid these foreign dues without dipping into its reserves. The governor of Bangladesh Bank also expressed hope that outstanding balance would be paid by December. With this repayment, the economy of the country will resume its more optimistic trajectory. Finance advisor Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed said that technical cooperation would be sought from Washington to bring back the smuggled money. He said this while replying to a query of newsmen after the meeting of Advisory Council Committee on Government Purchase. Replying to another question, the advisor said people are now feeling relieved due to reduction of egg price. He hoped that price of other essentials would also come down soon. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan said climate finance, adaptation and mitigation strategies must be fair and priority should be given to the badly affected climate vulnerable communities. She said the commitment for providing $100 billion to address the international climate funding crisis should be increased. The environment advisor made these remarks while speaking at a seminar titled Road to Baku COP29 Position of CSOS in Bangladesh on Climate Change at the Department of Environment DOA in Dhaka today. Advisor said while contributions from developed nations may resolve some financial issues, true climate justice will still remain elusive. She stressed the need for enhanced focus on adaptation measures and called for involvement of young people in the process. She also underscored the importance on clearly articulating international challenges and advocating for ambitious mitigation efforts. DOE Director General Dr. Abdul Hamid, NACOM Executive Director Dr. S.M. Munzurul Hannan Khan and Action Aid Bangladesh Country Director Farah Kabir also spoke on the occasion. Later, Environment Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan joined a meeting with business leaders on banning of polythene bags. Speaking on the occasion, she announced that the city markets which would be freed from polythene and polypropylene shopping bags by December 31st will be rewarded. The advisor said production, transportation, marketing and storage of polythene bags are strictly prohibited at shopping malls as polythene poses a serious threat to both the environment and public health. Environment advisor said environment-friendly alternatives such as jute bags must be used and students will be encouraged and involved in this effort. She urged the businessmen to step up the efforts and help implement the ban. During open discussion, business leaders expressed their agreement with the government's decision. Health and Family Welfare Advisor Noor Jahan Begum and Information and Broadcasting Advisor Muhammad Nahid Islam exchanged views with the victims of anti-discrimination movement. The view exchange meeting was held at the meeting room of the Ministry of Health today. Senior Secretary of Health Service Division M.A. Akmal Hussain Azad and General Secretary of July Shaheed Smriti Foundation Mir Mahbubur Rahman Snigdho, among others, spoke on the occasion. A total of 60 people from different walks of life who were injured in the anti-discrimination movement attended the meeting. Health advisor Noorjahan Begum warned that strict action will be taken against those involved in any negligence in the treatment of the injured during anti-discrimination movement. Referring to directives of Chief Advisor, Information and Broadcasting Advisor Nahid Islam said the government will bear the expenses needed for the treatment of the injured. The government has that capability, he added. Calling for giving utmost importance to the treatment of the injured, Nahid Islam said doctors should work in a coordinated way for the treatment so that they do not have to come to the government for the second time. Medical services to the injured cannot be considered as routine work, he added. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Muhammad Nahid Islam asked the associates of fascism in all places, including the media, police, to recognize July mass upsurge and surrender by October. He said this while speaking at a function organized on the occasion of 70th founding anniversary of National Press Club today. The information advisor said some media outlets are referring to martyrs as killed to remove the memory of July uprising from the memory of the people. Associates of fascism should be identified from those media and expelled. President of Jatiya Press Club Hassan Hafiz and General Secretary Ayub Bhuiya, Amar Dish editor Mahmood Rahman, among others, were present on the occasion. BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi urged the authorities concerned to guarantee a steady supply of electricity and to keep diesel prices reasonable to maintain irrigation system in agriculture. He made the urge while speaking at a press conference at the party's Noyapolitan Central Office in Dhaka today. Ruhul Kabir Rizvi further recommended that the government should maintain its vigilance regarding any plot to disrupt supply of electricity. BNP Joint Secretary General Shahiduddin Chaudhry Ani and Organizing Secretary Syed Imran Saleh Prince, among others, were present at that time. 6 more people died of dengue, while 1,298 dengue patients have been hospitalized across the country in the last 24 hours. The figure was given in a press release from the Health Emergency Operations Center and Control Room of the Director General of Health Services today. A total of 247 people died of dengue so far this year. Now, international news. An Israeli airstrike on a residential area killed at least 87 Palestinians in Beit Lahia in the territory's north. Residences of several families had been hit in the strike, which happened late on Saturday. Gaza government media office confirmed the toll, saying the dead included women and children as the strike had hit a densely populated residential area. Meanwhile, Israel strengthened airstrikes targeting Hezbollah strongholds in southern Beirut after the Lebanese armed group fired rockets into northern Israel, and a spokesman said a drone was launched at Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's holiday home. Netanyahu was not there at the time, and it was not immediately clear if the building was hit. Promises by Israel, Hamas and Hezbollah to keep fighting have chilled hopes that the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar on Wednesday might lead to truce in Gaza and Lebanon and prevent further escalation in the Middle East. Officials, diplomats and other sources say that with US elections approaching, Israel is seeking to use intensified military operations to try to shield its borders and ensure its rivals cannot regroup. Russia said that it had swapped 95 Ukrainian soldiers held captive for an equal number of Russian troops in an exchange deal brokered by the United Arab Emirates. Kiev has not confirmed the exchange, but Human Rights Center Zemina said a prominent Ukrainian rights activist, Maxim Butkevich, was freed in the swap, citing his father. Despite the ongoing hostilities, Russia and Ukraine swapped hundreds of prisoners since the launch of Moscow's offensive in 2022, often in deals brokered by the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia or Turkey. All-time hit Dracula author's lost story was unearthed after 134 years. An amateur historian has discovered a long-lost short story by Bram Stoker, published just 7 years before his legendary Gothic novel Dracula. Brian clearly stumbled upon the 134-year-old ghostly tale while browsing the archives of National Library of Ireland. Gibbet Hill was originally published in a Dublin newspaper in 1890 when the Irishman started working on Dracula, but has been undocumented ever since. Stoker biographer Paul Murray says the story sheds light on his development as an author and was a significant station on his route to publishing Dracula. The ghostly story tells the tale of a sailor murdered by 3 criminals whose bodies were strung up on a hanging gallows as a warning to passing travelers. It is set in Gibbet Hill in Surrey, a location also referenced in Charles Dickens' 1839 novel Nicholas Nickleby. Mr. Cleary made the discovery after taking time off work following a sudden onset of hearing loss in 2021, during which period he would pass the time at the National Library in Stoker's native Dublin. The discovery is also being highlighted in the city's Bram Stoker Festival later this month. Home and Agriculture Advisor Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry asked the Bahrain Multipurpose Development Authority (BMDA) to work more for development and interest of the farmers as it has further opportunities to do so. He said this at a view exchange meeting with farmers at Sarmongla Eco Park of Godagari Upazila in Rajshahi today. The advisor also inquired about farmers and listened to their pros and cons and asked them to go for profitable crop production and crop diversification. The advisor earlier visited transmission of water from Podda River to Sarmongla Ditch by underground pipeline project. He also released fish fry in Sarmongla Ditch and planted mango saplings of black stone variety in Sarmongla Eco Park. Later, he visited Kalipur irrigation system operated by BMDA. BMDA Chairman Dr. M. Asaduzzaman and Executive Director Muhammad Shafiqul Islam were present. Chief Advisor's Special Assistant, Lieutenant General retired Abdul Hafiz said foreign forces were involved in creating recent labor unrest in Ashulia of Savar. He said this while talking to journalists after visiting Continental Garments Industries Private Limited at Boro Rangamatia area of Ashulia in Savar today. Lieutenant General retired Abdul Hafiz said there was dissatisfaction over salary and bonus in the industrial areas. Foreign forces instigated and stimulated the workers' unrest, he added. The advisor said all factories are now maintaining normal operation as action has already been taken against those who created unrest and there is now no problem in the industry. Chief Advisor's Special Envoy on International Affairs Lutfi Siddiqui said it cannot be said exaggeratedly that many orders have moved to other countries due to workers' unrest. During the visit, the officials talked openly with workers of the factory and checked on them. GOC of 9th Infantry Division at Savar Army, Major General Moin Khan and Managing Director of Continental Garments Industries Private Limited, Munir Hissan, were present among others. Now weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said rain and thunder showers is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Chattogram division. Besides, weather may remain mainly dry with temporary partly cloudy sky elsewhere over the country. Night temperature may fall slightly and day temperature may rise slightly over the country, said the Met Office. Now news on sports. Bangladesh made 1-1 draw with Pakistan in the first match of SAF Women's Football Championship 2024 in Nepal today. Pakistan took the lead in the 32nd minute of the match while Zahmina Malik scored the goal at the Sharat Rangashala Stadium in Kathmandu. Shamsunahar Jr. levelled the margin in the added time of the match. Bangladesh will face India in the second match on October the 23rd. Bangladesh will take on South Africa in the first test of two-match series tomorrow in Mirpur. The match will start at 10 a.m. at Mirpur Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium. Bangladesh played a total of 14 test matches against South Africa. The Tigers made draw in 2 matches while they lost the rest of the 12 matches. And now to end the bulletin, a recap of the top stories. Supreme Court upholds High Court verdict that scraps the 16th Amendment of the Constitution, restoring Supreme Judicial Council with the power to remove apex court judges. Actions can be taken against associates of fascist government and those accused of corruption through Supreme Judicial Council, says law advisor. Government gives priority on bringing back the money smuggled abroad and may seek technical assistance from Washington to aid the process, says finance advisor. Bangladesh Bank repays $1.5 billion in foreign debts without dipping into its reserves and hopes to reduce outstanding debt to zero within the next 2 months. Information advisor asked the associates of fascism working in all places including police and mass media to recognize July mass upsurge and surrender by October. Israel continues attacks killing 87 Palestinians in Gaza. And Bangladesh play out 1-1 draw with Pakistan in South Women's Championship at Kathmandu, Nepal. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you indeed for joining us, and we invite you to watch 11:30 Bangla News. Until then, Allah Hafiz.